every time I went online, it was just, that's all I saw was death threats and threats of violence. And the worst of it, the really like hardcore death threats got passed along, and they, made sure that they weren't anyone that like lived close by. Yeah, they were like threatening my son, who was born during all of it. And, it was rough. It was rough. But, more than anything, it just kind of like, taught me to kind of keep a distance,
If my hand isn't shaking as I press send to email the script, I know the scenes aren't good enough. Neil Druckmann. The Last of Us Part 2, released by Naughty Dog and Sony Interactive Entertainment on the 19th of June, 2020. In retrospect, the release date now holds an endless onslaught of controversial energy. It is often easy to succumb to some form of mob mentality when discussing this game, but I will tell you now, this is my second favorite game of all time, and part of why I like it as a writer is the fact that it did become so hated. I knew it had done something right, and I understand why others may dislike it. However, if you are a creative or an artist yourself, I ask that you remain open for the remainder of this essay, as we will not be discussing the story itself or even the controversy, but delve into what never came to be. Thorough analysis of Druckmann and Gross's limiting of creation in order to make way for pacing may give you a deeper insight into the ultimate coalescence and culmination of story, gameplay, acting, controversy, and more in your own work. So let's start at the beginning. Following the public's uproar over the re-release aspect of Naughty Dog's studio, they doubled down, which I appreciate, especially as a fan since 2013, and they released a script book. This foreword, written by Troy Baker, describes his experience with the games and beckons its reader to understand the true meaning of what a gut-wrenching scene really is. And in my opinion, if you're not supplying me with a gut-wrenching scene, whether sad or happy in a story, it's already denoted to a lesser level, a level that Naughty Dog and Druckmann have never reached. Though Troy Baker's foreword was most poignant, after reading The Last of Us Part 1 and the Left Behind DLC script, I noticed something in Part 2's that made my heart race. New content. Not in the form of a game, but entire conversations and moments cut from the game in order to preserve pacing, which will be the main driving point for this video. Almost acting like a key to a map, it describes that the bold italics denotes material that never made it in-game. Of course, every little thing cut wouldn't make it into the book, but the most poignant moments remained, and the first one lay within a frosty cabin in the middle of Wyoming woods. This specific passage picks up where Abby awakes, clutching her chest, heavily breathing from a nightmare, a common showcase of trauma for a plethora of characters throughout the games. I'll give the entire section a quick read, and then we'll go over why it was cut, and if you should truly ever cut a good idea just for your audience. Unless I describe otherwise, this conversation is going back and forth between Abby and Owen, starting with Abby. Ugh, it's that loud, huh? No, your sleeping bag was open, so I covered you a beat. You covered me? It's cold. I see. It's cold. A beat. Where have you been? A beat. Grab your gear. I want to show you something. Why are you being all mysterious? Trust me. The interior ski chalet, basement, pre-dawn. Abby, dressed and ready to go, follows Owen through the basement, where Leah labels the backs of Polaroids, a triangle prompt over her and cites. Abby, what are you doing up? Leah, couldn't sleep. I don't have a good one of you guys. Here, get together. Abby, ugh. The two lean together, used to this routine. Leah holds up the camera, snaps a picture. It flashes. The Polaroid comes out. She looks it over as it starts to develop. Leah, not your best. Can you try smiling this time? Owen, bye Leah. Thank you. The two continue on. Leah returns to labeling her Polaroids. They make their way into interior ski chalet garage continuous. Abby and Owen enter the garage, where Manny is messing with a solar power box on the wall. He's got a flashlight in his mouth. Abby, you still at this? Manny struggles to twist a cable into its fuse. Manny, the roof panels all look fine. It's gotta be a loose wire. Where are you off to? Owen, just taking a walk. Manny, coy. Okay. Abby, shut up. Manny, see you soon. Owen lifts the garage door up, and the two head out into the pre-dawn light. Each line, movement, subtle gesture that the WLF crew has to show in this deleted scene, in retrospect of course, is masterful. But note that I did say in retrospect. At this point in the game, we have no idea who Abby is, what she stands for, and the game gives us no reason to respect or even care for the people she is surrounded with. As heartwarming as this scene would be for people who care about Abby nearing the end of Part 2, they would heavily enjoy this scene, just like Ellie and Joel in the museum left our heart warmed, which we'll touch on this later, but I do believe the developers were dealing with a case of irony. The mystery enshrouding who Abby is must remain intact. Getting all chummy with her companions dissolves this, and even gives the player too much to work with, and almost gives them a false sense of confidence. We need to know who they are and what they're like, but we should not be bonding with them at this point in the story, which is why I believe Druckmann and Gross leave Abby's story for the entirety of the second half, rather than including it here. Leah's Polaroids, Manny's handiness with technology, the rockiness surrounding with Owen and Abby's relationship is all given away immediately, with no gameplay and beat mixed in. It was best for this scene to be excluded in my opinion, but what's yours? Should this scene have been added, or would this false sense of comfort only have added more gasoline to the fiery flame of controversy surrounding Abby? The retrospective tenderness this scene supplies is nothing compared to that of Ellie and Joel's section of the game, and believe it or not, there was an entire conversation cut and replaced with another.
What are you doing? Ellie, be careful.
I'm climbing a dinosaur!
Yeah, I can see that. Just don't die falling off of one.
Look at me! I'm on a motherfucking dinosaur!
Whoa, what are you doing? Don't jump. Just climb down.
Ah!
Hey!
A complete guttural shock is what I felt when I played this segment for the first time, and I was amazed when I realized they actually cut this specific conversation. Though I believe the funnier option was included in the game, I am curious as to why they couldn't just quickly add it in. So let's read the script and discuss this very minute, though tender moment. This conversation is going back and forth between Ellie and Joel, starting with Ellie as soon as they enter the museum. A triangle prompt over the cash register incites. "Hello, sir. How may I help you?" "Really?" "Play along, Joel." "Oh, one ticket, please." Ellie pretends to push buttons on the register. "That'll be $1 million. Expensive museum. Here you go." "How much would a ticket actually cost?" "Less than $1 million. "How much money did you have?" "Way less than $1 million. This scene ultimately got replaced with what you're seeing now. The snide comment about Joel's age still makes me laugh even on my 9th playthrough. However, your guess is as good as mine as to why they got rid of this scene. Perhaps it would have been too cumbersome among the millions of prompts and moments you get to share with Joel. But for posterity, I think this conversation is important, whether in-game or not. This specific encounter may have been incredibly short-lived, but a shockingly lengthy segment was cut from the farmhouse, which we'll read next. Before we march onward to the farmhouse, I do have one question to prompt you with. Should a good idea ever be cut just for your audience? Or should your creative power only be held in your eyes? Should you be truly worried about what your audience will think? Or are you just focused on making something true to yourself? It's food for thought. Farmhouse. The gameplay section which had taken everyone aback, while simultaneously becoming one of the most memorable, bittersweet, and calming moments in the entire game, has the largest amount of cut content from it. Being quite lengthy, I'll give the script a quick read and then speak on it. This conversation will be happening between Ellie and Dina, as well as their baby JJ and Owen. A triangle prompt over the record player. "How about some tunes? What should we listen to? What do you think?" Ellie shows the baby 2 records. If the player selects the fast tune, "You want a boogie, huh? Me too." Ellie puts on the fast record, cranks the player. Soon, music drifts out. Dina shakes her ass while continuing to scrub. "Fuck yeah, I love this song." To the baby, "Mama's so easy to please. I'm with you. My bar is very low." Triangle prompt over Dina while fast music is playing the first time in sights. Ellie starts dancing near Dina, getting closer, rocking out with the baby. "Oh, look at those moves." Dina laughs. The 2 girls let loose, dancing wildly in the kitchen. Ellie gets close, dances up on Dina. "Look at Mama go." Ellie attempts some awkward moves. "Oh man, this is kind of working on me." "You're weird." "I'm aware." Ellie snuggles into her 2 favorite people, runs her hand seductively up Dina's back, starts kissing Dina's shoulders. Into it. "What are you doing?" The music comes to a stop. "Okay, stop distracting me." But Ellie doesn't stop. "Oh, fuck you." Dina playfully pushes her away. "Go on, go." Ellie smacks Dina's ass, walks away. If the player hits the triangle prompt over Dina a second time with fast music, Ellie returns to Dina, dances up against her again. "More? You can tell me to stop." Despite herself, Dina starts dancing with Ellie. This round, their moves are more seductive, so I should stop, right? Then Dina gets a hold of herself. "Okay, enough, seriously." Dina returns to the dishes. If the player hits the triangle prompt over Dina a third time with fast music, Ellie approaches Dina, dances up on her again. Dina keeps her back to her. "Seriously, fuck off. I will straight murder you." "I don't believe you." Dina splashes water at Ellie. "What the fuck?" "Go. This isn't over." "Uh-huh." An alternative for slow tunes, a triangle prompt over the record player. "How about some tunes? What should we listen to? What do you think?" Ellie shows the baby 2 records. If the player selects the slower tune. "Yeah, let's keep it mellow." Ellie puts on the slow record, cranks the player. Soon, music drifts out. Dina aways with it. "Ooh, I love this one." Potato's got great taste. Stop calling him that. No, he's my little spud, aren't you? Triangle prompt over Dina while slow music is playing. If hit, Ellie moves close to Dina. Hey, come here. Ellie takes Dina's soapy hand in hers. I'm all soapy. Shut up. Dina smiles. Ellie pulls Dina in, slides her arm up onto her own shoulder. The two girls slow dance with the baby between them. Spin me. Ellie lifts her hand up on Dina and spins beneath it. Yeah, to the baby. Look at Mama go. What a spectator. Oh God. Get it? Tater. Yeah, I get it. Dina groans, does her own little shimmy, then slips back into Ellie's arms. The two girls get closer. Dina snuggles in to her two favorite people. The baby squirms between them. Tell me something nice. Looking kinda hot right now. Dina smiles seductively. What are you doing later? Hanging out with you. Sounds good. Ellie slides her hands around Dina's waist, up her back. The music comes to a stop. Get out of here. Do I have to? Yes. Go. If the player hits the triangle prompt over Dina a second time with slow music, Ellie kisses Dina's neck, moves up to her cheek, her ear. Despite herself, Dina turns around, starts swaying in Ellie's arms. You're the worst. I know. The two away together for a while. Finally, Dina snaps back to reality. She half laughs, flustered. Seriously, go away. You want me to? Yes. Yes. Okay. Ellie backs away from Dina. If the player hits the triangle prompt over Dina a third time with slow music, Ellie approaches Dina, who refuses to turn around this time. I'm not even turning around. Ellie kisses Dina's neck. Dina spins around, points her sponge at Ellie. Do you want me to end you? I will full on end you. I thought you weren't turning around. Go. Ellie backs away from Dina, raising her hand in defeat. Fine, whispered to the baby. How did someone as sweet as you come out of such a grouch? Dina, I heard that. If the player hits the triangle prompt over the record player after the song has been previously played, we see Ellie re-crank the player. Okay, in all honesty, to get through this was pretty arduous. Simply because of that fact, I can see why they got rid of it, but on a deeper level, I feel that it comes down to love for the characters and the events of the story. With Dina getting her face brutally smashed in not even 5 minutes ago, hitting a prompt on a record player 19 times and dancing around is not what a player, not even an audience member would like to see. In the game, they kept it concise, gave us just enough of what we needed to understand their life before they strip it away. This is a great lesson to any writers out there, because your love for your characters should be limited. Be aware of the events in your story that may showcase personality or love, but you also need to get rid of those things in order to keep pacing and intrigue intact as you move along into a very short falling action, which in The Last of Us' case thrives in uncomfortability and confusion. This, as ever lengthy as it was, isn't even the end of the farmhouse segment though, supplying further padding to my point. The next touches on Ellie and baby JJ reading something we're all too familiar with, the joke book. Now the next pages hold an absolute onslaught of jokes, so I'm just going to flash them on screen, but I will not be reading them. So it's up to you now to become the voice of this book. After reading that, I hope you agree with me when I say that none of us want to sit on a porch and read jokes, at least in my opinion, or at least not that lengthy of a version, especially after the events of what just happened. But I hope you can come to grips with what that truly means to you, because in my opinion, I think that was just a perfectly excluded piece of content. The third and final part of this trilogy of cut farmhouse content deals with a boar in the woods. As always, I'll give the script a quick read, and then I actually have a very special guest making an appearance to introduce the first gameplay snippet of this boar hunting sequence. Exterior of Wyoming woods. Day. Ellie is hunting a wild boar through the Wyoming wilderness, overflowing with unrealized rage. Ellie's far more brutal than she needs to be. Its screams sound too human. A crawl through incites. The boar has pushed its back up against the wall. It's on its side in a thick pool of its own blood. This animal is dying. Its eyes are wide, scared, pained. It cries out something wet. Ellie pulls her knife closer to it, her hand clenched around her knife. She tries to find an angle where she can best finish it off. She's forced to twist onto her side, mirroring the position she was in when she watched Joel die. She gets the knife up to the animal's throat, starts to press into its thick flesh, and somewhere in the boar's screaming, she hears Joel. Blood drips from its mouth into a reflective pool, just like Joel's did when he died. Ellie's ears begin to ring as her expression twists from wrathful to disturbed. She starts to breathe heavily. Her hands begin to shake. She pulls the knife away, squeezes her eyes shut.
For this third and final deleted level, what we call the boar hunt sequence, this was a sequence pretty late in the game. It was right after the whole Seattle Abby sequence where Abby spares Ellie. And then we wanted to come back into Ellie's story, but keep it a bit mysterious of how much time has passed, where is Ellie now? So we're coming in on Ellie and she's following a trail of blood. And we wanted to mirror in a way the deer hunt sequence from the first game, but this time do it with a boar. And there's something with Ellie that now she can't let go of this violence. She's pursuing it, even against this innocent animal. This was another opportunity to show how the violence that Ellie has experienced, the violence that she witnessed being afflicted onto Joel, is still sticking with her, and she's still experiencing these PTSD moments. This was a sequence that was pretty far along and was cut pretty late in production. Parts of it are still really rough, but the gameplay, the building blocks were all there. I think you'll have fun to see, like, again, a rough, unfinished sequence that you can play. You can see all the way to the end, and including a cinematic that we end up cutting. And the remnants of the sequence ended up being mentioned in Ellie's journal. So this part of the story that we developed still made its way into the game as kind of optional stuff that you could read about, but here you get to experience it. So as a reminder, this is pretty rough, months away from being finished, but you get to see it now.
Similarly to the dancing and the joke book, this sequence honestly feels fruitless compared to what we get in the game. After a quote-unquote boss fight with Abby, I feel like the player needs to be off the sticks for a while to kind of cool off. Hunting a boar and adding to the other thousands of trauma displays in a semi-creative way seems to dim the narrative in a slight way. The want to showcase that Ellie's wrath still haunts her and that she even still has that wrath intact through a boar rather than waiting for Ellie's reaction when Tommy says he found where Abby is much less of a guttural punch to the player. I personally believe when Tommy says something about Abby, Ellie died right there. That was solidifying her fate. Neil Druckmann was so kind to introduce that last segment, and as we're nearing the end of the video and actually closing our script book for now, it's only right to invite him back a couple more times before the end. So let's travel back in time to the middle of our revenge story, to the dank and grimy sewers of Seattle. Before that, though, I'm going to let this gameplay sequence play out, and then we'll move on. I'll see you guys in Seattle.
Got you. It's over. Nowhere to run.
In this second deleted level, which is an extended sequence of the sewers in Seattle, this comes on the heels of where Ellie goes into a building and she survives an attack by stalkers and gets thrown out of a window and gets swept away by the current. And then we cut this section that used to be there in the final game. Now you will get to play it. So this was a way to get a bit more interesting puzzles, interesting traversal, figure out how Ellie can navigate the sewers with the fighting current. Ultimately, with a lot of these levels and these sequences, the reason why we cut them were for pacing purposes. But here it is for you in this very kind of raw form that part of it will feel finished, parts of it will feel like assets are missing as far as audio, animation won't be final, but it's a glimpse into what a game looks like when it's months away from finishing. Enjoy.
For players with a decent knowledge of this segment, they know what lies ahead. The Seraphites. What feels like a labyrinth would have separated this terrifying moment for about 10 minutes if played incorrectly. The shining moment of these sewers, though, is when Joel appears in place of a clicker. In all honesty, we really don't need another layer of trauma. We know why we're here, Ellie knows why she's here, so she shouldn't really be haunted by Joel until her cold revenge is dealt. Though I will name drop another game here, Silent Hill 2. For people familiar with it, they would know about the Labyrinth level, purposely made to make the player feel the endless torment of the arduous section to keep you in James's shoes. I believe this is possibly why they added this section, as well as to give the players a break from the eerie stalker section of the game that happened just a few moments ago. Let me know what you think. As we move on to the very final section of this content, I ask that you reflect on what we've seen so far and draw your own conclusions why the next section was cut. So, let's party.
You're about to play an unfinished level from The Last of Us Part 2. The reason we added this section is there are a few sequences, and we picked the 3 of the best ones, that we cut from the game. You know, often we build a game that's much bigger than what ends up being the final product. They were months away from being finished, but we wanted to give you an insight of what it's like when we built a game, because often we have this whole thing constructed and it doesn't have final art or audio or dialogue. And here you get to see the building blocks of what it's like when we first string a bunch of these levels together. This is the intro to the first deleted level, and this one is the roughest of the 3. We wanted to show more of how Jackson operates. So this is the festival where Ellie ultimately kisses Dina. This sequence would have come very late in the game as a flashback sequence while you're in the farm with Dina. And we wanted to show what is the rest of Jackson doing, and wanted to put on the stick, make it interactive. So you could see when you're outside, there are all these almost like carnival games that you can play. You could mix drinks, you could play with these kids that are playing a sort of clicker Marco Polo, sit down and listen to conversations. And all the different interactions were first or second pass, very, very early passes. The building blocks are there, but nothing is final. And ultimately, while we were very excited by this sequence, it's pretty fun and lighthearted. It just slowed things too much as we're barreling towards the end of the story at this point. So again, reminder, rough, missing audio, missing animation, missing gameplay tweaks, missing dialogue, but pretty representative of what it would have been. So enjoy.
If you made it this far, I just want to say how much I appreciate you. This is my first ever video essay, and I'm surely not a video editor, but I'm passionate and I'm trying. The Last of Us Part 2's cut content can teach us all about pacing in our own work. Though any art we create is simply for fun, you may want to do a double take every now and then and think about your audience too. I would like to leave you all with a quote from Shakespeare to end it, and I'd like you to truly think about it. But before I plaster her up on screen, please take a moment to like, subscribe, comment, share, and follow my Instagram for more content. It lets me know I'm actually reaching people, and I would feel more inspired to continue. Again, thank you, have a great day, and remember that you are loved. Beauty is bought by judgment of the eye, not uttered by base sale of Chapman's tongues. William Shakespeare.